Hello, I'm Jillian Batchelor with the Batchelor Group. And today I'm here with Bruce Cannon, one of our top home inspectors with Win Home Inspections. Now Bruce, when our clients come to us here at the Batchelor Group, they're always curious when they're buying a home, should they obtain a home inspection? Now of course, we suggest that they do, but we can never tell a buyer why a home inspection should be done on their home. When they're buying their home, why would you say that they should obtain a home inspection?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me today, Jillian. I appreciate that. Probably the biggest reason is this is going to be their biggest investment, as we well know. And so it just makes sense that they should want to know what kind of condition all the components of that home are in. And so that's why it's important for any individual that wants to purchase a home to hire a home inspector to find out the condition, and then they can make an educated decision on that home.
Absolutely. That's a good answer for that. Now, Bruce, what if the client is buying a brand new home? Do you still suggest they get a home inspection done?
Definitely. Believe it or not, we find a lot of issues with brand new homes. Matter of fact, back, if you remember when they were building homes a lot back in 2003 and 2004, we'd enter a lot of these new homes and they forget to insulate the entire attic.
Wow.
I guess the insulators were so busy doing all these houses that they forgot which one they left off on. So yeah, we find a lot of issues with new homes, and even more important than that is after the warranty is up, it's really good to get a third-party inspector in there to do a full inspection on the home. That way when the builder's representative arrives, they can give them the third-party inspector's report and take care of all the issues before that warranty is null and void. So that's even better than a new home inspection.
I bet that's something a lot of clients don't think of.
They don't.
Wow, okay. Now, what would you suggest a buyer look for when they choose a home inspector? Are you all the same?
That's a very good question, and we get that question a lot when people are interviewing us to see if they want to hire us. And probably the number one reason you want to find out about a home inspector is what are their qualifications. Of course, we have to be licensed in the state of Nevada. That's the number one qualification. But from there, what did that person do beforehand? Were they even in construction, or were they dealing with fixing computers before they became a home inspector? So that's probably the number one question is what is that guy's qualifications, or girl? And in our case, we've done 7,000 inspections now over the past 10 years. I think we started business about the same time you did, about 10 years ago. So that's important. And before that, what did we do? Well, both Matt and myself, we were in construction. I built houses for 25 years in Hawaii, and Matt worked in construction here in Las Vegas for 16 years. So that kind of a background is good to have if you're going to be a home inspector.
That's so important because then you understand what goes behind the quality of the construction. So it's more than just the home inspection itself.
That's true, yeah.
Well, what happens if the home inspector misses something or overlooks something, or the buyer finds it later in the home? After they've moved into the home, then what happens?
Yeah, there's a couple of answers to that question. If they find something afterwards, one thing you have to remember about a home inspection is, and a lot of people have this misconstrued, how long is a home inspection good for? Believe it or not, it's good for that moment in time. So there are things that are going to happen. But if we blatantly miss that, say, half the roof was blown off the back of the building because we didn't do a good inspection, then the state of Nevada also requires that we're insured. So the state of Nevada requires $100,000 E&O insurance and $100,000 of general liability insurance, and for us we carry $500,000 of each.
Oh, so 5 times what actually required. That's great to know.
Yes, and we need to have that because when we do an inspection, we take full responsibility for it. If we miss something, we're either going to pay for it or we're going to kick in our insurance. So far, in 10 years in doing inspections, we've never had to go to our insurance. Yeah, we have missed a few little things here and there. None of us are perfect, but we just pay for that and make everybody happy. That's the most important part.
I like the responsibility factor. I like hearing that, definitely. So is it realistic for a buyer to think that the home inspector is going to find every single thing that is wrong in that home? And what about certainly items that can't be tested? Like, for example, I know, being in the business over 10 years, there are items when it's 120 degrees outside, the heat can't be tested. Or when it's 30 degrees outside, the AC can't be tested. Or you're walking to a garage and there's like a hoarder lives there and you can't test items in the garage. Is it realistic for the buyer to think that every single thing is going to be tested in that home?
Again, you have to remember what a home inspection is. It's a non-invasive visual examination. And so in that case, if there's just so many items cluttered, we're not going to be able to get to a lot of areas in a home. So for us, and the client understands that. Usually if you can explain it to the client, they'll understand that. So we can't get to certain areas, and you're correct on the heating and air conditioning. More so with the air conditioning, when it's really cold outside, you can't expect that poor unit to function like it would when it's hot. I mean, you're not going to get the right readings out of the registers, and it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, there are certain items that we can't look at certain times of the year, and certain things that we can't get to because of furniture and personal items blocking them. Or maybe they've, with the attic access, maybe they've completely sealed that shut and painted it. Well, there's no way we can get that open. Electrical panels, sometimes it's been painted over. If we take the panel off, half the wall is going to come with it. And so the important part about that aspect of it is we just need to identify that in the report. The inspector could not do this, that, or the other thing and give the reason why.
Okay, well, that sounds great. Now, what about, let me ask you another question a lot of clients will ask us, mold. In the standard home inspection, are you testing for mold?
Only if you're licensed can you test for mold. So in our case, we carry a moisture meter with us. If we see any moisture damage or fungal growth, then we'll definitely call out to go to the next level, to have a mold professional come in and maybe take some air samples and do what they do. But really, that's not really part of, I don't think there's hardly any home inspector actually in Las Vegas that does both.
Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, and so basically, if that looks like it's an issue, we'll call that out for a professional to dig a little deeper.
Okay. So do home inspectors prefer that a buyer or a seller be present during the home inspection or not? And is there a benefit for the buyer or seller to be present during the home inspection?
It's definitely a plus if the buyer can be there. And the reason why is, sometimes we say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and we put pictures in the report. But for an out-of-state buyer, he looks at a picture with a hole in the drywall. That's about 980 too many words at that point, right? He thinks the whole house is falling down, and all it is a small hole in the drywall or the plaster. So for us, it's great. You can't beat the human eye. If they can be there, we can go over the report with them, the findings. They're going to appreciate that. And the key is that everything can be fixed. So it's not a pass or fail inspection. And once the client knows that, and that, well, if I get a handyman out here to do a few things, and a roofer, maybe a plumber and electrician, this house will be basically in brand new condition. So we try to keep it in a way that the client knows that, what they're purchasing is going to need a little bit of work. We talked about new homes earlier. We've never found one that doesn't have some kind of issue.
There's no perfect home out there.
There isn't. So if they can fix up the things that we find, they're going to have a pretty good product in the end. So yeah, it's great if they can be there. Sellers, it's still their castle. Yeah. So some of them want to be there, some don't care, but to be truthful with you, we prefer to go over the report with the buyer only. They're the one that is paying us for the inspection. They're the ones that need to know what the issues are. If you get a seller involved, all of a sudden, they start.
It's hard for the seller to hear anything could be wrong. They look at the house like it's perfect, and
they don't want to hear anything bad about it. So, but the buyer, yeah, it's great if they can do it.
And Bruce, what about when is the home inspection paid for? And what is the price range? Sometimes clients ask me, is it hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars?
Yeah, it's all based on square footage. And basically our price, believe it or not, has not changed in 10 years.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, well, this market has been so bad recently, but things are picking up and it's getting exciting again with buying and selling. And so our price up to 2,000 square feet is $295.
Wow,
it's always been that way. Condos, 1, 2, and 3 bedroom are $245. Pools and spas are $95. And if it's just a pool, it's $50. If you're into a lot of agents and buyers like multiplex, so they're $150 per unit. So that's the basic rundown of price. Once you go over 2,000 feet, it's $10 per 100 square feet after that. So
that's a great price.
Yeah, we believe so. Are we the cheapest? No way.
But the cheapest isn't always the best.
That's right.
We've found out over the years.
Yes. And those that call me for pricing, is that the best price you can do? I usually tell them, if you're shopping for price, you got the wrong number, I'm sorry. But if you want a quality inspection, you got the right number and we'll take good care of you. So that's the basic pricing structure.
Wow. Well, Bruce, I would like to thank you so much for your time today and the answers to your questions and really just helping our homeowners become more educated in the process. Now, if you'd like more information or you'd like to contact Bruce, I can attest he's one of the best home inspectors in the business. He's with Win Home Inspection. His phone number is 702-336-4190. Again, that's 702-336-4190. Or you can contact myself, Jillian Batchelor, at the Batchelor Group at 702-823-3801. Again, 702-823-3801. Or you can always visit us on the web at www.lasvegas1realestate.com anytime, day or night. Thank you so much and have a fantastic day.
Thanks, Jillian.